Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Coach Lorianne. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you too can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. I know I am. I love this time of year, and excited to have our guest back, Kiora Johnson. She's been here before. She is the founder and executive director of God's Blessings Plan that has been in operation as a 501c3 charitable nonprofit since January 2018. Outstanding human. I just adore this woman. The organization offers basic necessities to children and families living in low income communities and temporary housing throughout Long Island, New York. The mission is to show the love and compassion of Christ to our local communities through strategic outreach and programs designed to meet needs and lead people with a sense of love and dignity without discrimination. The vision is to be a beacon of light, hope, and equality for the underserved and underprivileged throughout the world. Kiora's love of Christ is what motivates her each and every day to help his children. Welcome to the show, Kiora.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
I'm so glad that you're here. So, I loved having you on the last time, and I know you do such yummy things this time of year, and I really wanted to help get that message out to all of our listeners. And I just want to mention the website is God's Blessings, both with S's, plan.org, God's Blessings plan.org. And you do wonderful things. So remind everybody what it is that you do with the organization. And then I want to jump in some yummy stuff that you're in the process of doing right now.
Absolutely. So essentially what we've been doing is giving basic necessities to children and families in need. So that's everything from diapers and wipes and feminine hygiene products and coats and socks and laundry detergent. So everything that a family could need, we pretty much go to provide it. We also try to do food sometimes back and forth, but a lot of what we try to focus on is being able to get those items that families wouldn't be able to get just if they're, for example, with SNAP. Right. So with SNAP, you can go get your food, but you can't get deodorant. Right. So we want to be able to fill that gap.
Oh, that's beautiful. And you do this thing, which is my favorite, is the Holiday Blessings Tour. Tell us more about that.
Yes. So the Holiday Blessings Tour, we are starting that. This is our first year with the tour. So we have worked with the Department of Social Service and specifically with Child Protective Services. And just through my work with them and kind of going back and forth with them, I came to realize that 68% of their caseload is directly related to poverty, which was astonishing to me. Like, we're talking about more than 2/3 of their work at CPS is not because little Johnny is being hurt and harmed at home, but because he's coming to school smelling a little different than everyone else or didn't eat. So that we can do something about that. So I decided to do this Holiday Blessings Tour to create a ripple effect. So it is not only being able to help the families that are in need, but also being able to work with the Department of Social Service and with CPS to free up their resources. So we've been able to, with them, identify 4 major areas of need in Suffolk County. And so now we're going every Saturday in December to those areas, providing basic necessities for at least 600 families or 2,400 people per location, almost 10,000 people over the course of 4 weeks.
Wow. Have you ever morphed from last year into this whole process? This is amazing. So definitely doing God, source, universe's work, however you refer to your higher power. I love that. I love that. So who's been your biggest supporter?
So in this process in general, I'm going to say my biggest supporter has been my husband. He has been phenomenal in ways that I can't even express.
Shout out to Curtis.
Yes, shout out to Curtis. He's amazing. He, even with just God's Blessings Plan in general, if anyone remembers from last time, right, I left my six-figure job to do God's Blessings Plan for free, right? So he has supported that year after year. We're in year 6 now. And, he's also continued to help being able to reach out to other nonprofits for us to work with, other organizations for us to work with. So I feel like, between him and God, those are the two that had my back throughout this entire experience.
And I love your story because you used to be in the finance industry and you left the 6-digit industry so that you could do this and follow God's work. I left 6-digit salary as well, so I could help coach people and help them follow their dream and find their purpose and do that. So I really resonate that you did that. But one of the things that I remember so succinctly is you just packing your house with stuff. Like stuff was all over your house, all over your apartment. Like there was like almost no room for you to walk because you were just bringing things into your house so that you could serve this. And I really love that you are so dedicated. You and Curtis is so dedicated, and you really you're the poster child for helping people who are underserved and underprivileged, and I love that. What made you start God's Blessings Plan?
Why did I start it? The short answer of it is because of God. That's the short answer. I was, I saw someone, or I saw multiple people, actually homeless people, when we were living in Queens at that point, and people are living on the streets, and I had just had my son, and I was like, I don't know if it's because I'm used to this now, right, where I'm no longer used to seeing homeless people all over the place because I was on maternity leave, or if the population exploded while I was gone. But I was more sensitive to those that were in need, and I just felt like I needed to do something. And I specifically remember I was just about to walk across the street, and there was a homeless gentleman that had a sandwich, and he was breaking pieces off from his sandwich and feeding the pigeons around him. And I felt like God impressed on me, this man is sharing what little he has, and you can't even look him in the eye. And I was just it just hit me so hard. And I was like, well, God, I don't know what to do. And he was like, remember the blessings bags. And then it was just putting bags together and giving them out to the homeless, and, just going from there. And it was just really something that impressed upon me, how, and as I got into it, and like you said, right, my house was full. It got to a point where my house was full of stuff that I went to give away. And then it just grew and grew and grew. It's almost like it became a vacuum. So the more I would give, the more would just come right back in. And it's like, okay, I finally cleaned out my living room. Everything is good. And now I've got, 2 living rooms worth of stuff. So now I've got to get a, 5x5 storage space. And then I clean everything out of that. Now I've got a 10x10 storage space, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So, even for this tour, we're looking at least, to start off, a good 30 pallets. I just picked up my first 53-footer, semi truck of donations. So that was an amazing experience for me to actually have to go and say, all right, I need a 53-footer to pick up all of these donations. So it grows exponentially. And, as I always say, you can't outgive God.
Yeah, you said something that I want to circle back to that I love, and it's so, so true. As much as you gave out, you got more back in. So when we give out, we always get more back in. That's just how universe works. That's a law of attraction, the whole 9 yards. And I just want to remind our listeners, we have a challenge in November, a challenge of random acts of kindness. This would be a really good random act of kindness to be able to provide these products to Kiora and to the God's Blessings Plan, so that you could go do more work for us and keep humanity in. And these are the things that we can do that we actually have control of. We have a lot of things that are going on right now in the world that we don't have control of, but this we do, and you make a substantial impact on a daily basis. How does that make you feel?
There is no better feeling than it. Like I said, I've been doing this for 6 years. It has been completely free, right? Fully volunteer. So I have not gotten a dollar from any of this stuff, which again circles back to why my husband is the MVP, the real MVP, right? Um, so it's the thing that wakes me up in the morning, right? It's the thing that makes me want to continue doing what I'm doing, even without getting paid, because I've been there. I've been in that space where I was homeless for a point in time. We didn't necessarily have all of the food. I didn't necessarily go to bed hungry, but we had, hot dogs, and that was what you were going to eat, and that's just it. So I know what it is to be in that space. I know how ashamed you can feel. I know how embarrassed you can feel. And that's why for every single one of our events, it's always about the experience, right? Not only is it, here are these items that you really need, but having that experience, catering, serving, that servant leadership, because when you do that, the look that people give you, where they expect to be treated a little less, but at least they're getting something, so they're, quote unquote, okay with it. But when you actually go above and beyond to serve them, that look of just, oh, I didn't expect you to do that. I didn't expect you to put that in the bag for me. I didn't expect you to walk that over for me. It's the best feeling in the world. Absolute best feeling in the world.
Yeah. That's serving, that getting outside of ourselves and helping other people. And that is something that there are no words to put that in. And this is your purpose. And when you find your purpose, you jump out of bed and you're excited to do what you do every day, because you're impactful on every action that you're taking, whether you're finding a humongous semi to fill and have it filled. And also to making the blessings bags. Let's circle back, because you mentioned blessing bags really quickly. I know we know what that is, but I want to make sure all our listeners know what the blessing bags are.
Absolutely. So we started with the blessings bags back in 2018. So
I do like your S's. You put S's on everything. Blessings, bags, God, yes. Blessings, plans. So I just wanted to point that
out. Because there's a multitude of them.
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's not just a one-time occurrence, right? It is a constant thing, right? So for the blessings bags, it is essentially, we put bags together where it's socks and gloves and hand warmers and foot warmers and gift cards are all things that we kind of put into that bag. That was our beginning world, which was very helpful for transporting these items back and forth. I used to literally have a duffel bag and put the blessings bags in my duffel bag going to work, and then just hand them out, as I was walking around. And then as we've grown, it has just turned into pallets and pallets of stuff that we kind of give and we have laid out on the tables and to be able to give. But that was definitely our first generation giving.
Yeah, that I it's such a beautiful vision, and you just keep making it larger and larger and larger. So very proud of you. So let's dial back in so everyone can understand, how do you actually serve people?
So a lot of what we do is during our monthly, sometimes bi-monthly, depending on our funds and the donations we're able to receive, where we do events. We do a lot of outdoor events. We also try to do a little bit more. We've gotten a little bit better with having individual clients, but I am a mighty team of one. So I try to impact as many people as I can with the limited resources that I have.
When you say events, tell us what the events are like.
So a lot of these events some of them are standalone events. Some of them are events that we do within other towns. So for example, the Holiday Blessings Tour is our own standalone events. We've done National Night Out, and we've done Juneteenth events as well, where those are more connected with other organizations with the towns, like the town of Huntington, for example. So it depends on the timing and where we are. But we work within these events where we can actually reach the people that need us the most, which are low income communities, low income housing, temporary housing we go into. And then again, we just kind of open up the floodgates and give people above and beyond, right? We normally go in with, depending on the event, again, between a 10 or a 15-foot box truck, right? And stack it to the gills, right? And give things out from there. You know, we've had really great sponsors who are able to have laundry detergent, like Earth Breeze, for example, who's been an amazing partner with us, and to be able to have something that is uh, it's not as heavy, right? The regular laundry detergent bottles, they're very heavy to have
And
to
they
deal
take
with.
up a lot of space.
They take up a lot of space. And with this, it's the
The
sheets,
sheets,
right?
yeah. Oh my God, they're
Exactly.
amazing.
They
I got
are.
introduced them they were introduced to me by my girlfriend Lynn. We went away and she had these sheets with her, and I was like, "What are those sheets?" And she goes, "Oh, this is the laundry detergent." And I was like, "No, seriously, what are those sheets? Is it like, it says stop the clinging?" And so she's like, "No, this is the laundry detergent."
No.
She's like, "What are you doing? Just go." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And I put, oh my gosh, they're magical. And you just have to picture like a very small packet, like a Ziploc that the sheets are in. And that's like 96 loads, as opposed to this big clunky plastic container, which goes into our landfills. That's mostly water, and and it's heavy. And so these sheets, you could get thousands of them into your box truck.
Exactly. So they're actually giving us something over 3,000 packs of them to be able to give out to the families. So I can, like I said, we're going to be serving somewhere in the area of about 2,400 families. So every single family can get laundry detergent, right? And I
Wow.
don't have to, and it's not going to take up all of this space, which will allow me to get them other things, because the space that the regular laundry detergent would be taking up, then I can't give you baby supplies, or I can't give you whatever, because it's taking up that space in my warehouse, right? So it gives me an opportunity to serve more people with more things that they need.
Yeah, that company is called Earth Breeze, and I really, really encourage everybody to support them. They're supporting us, they're supporting our neighbors, they're supporting our families, our community. So we definitely need to get behind a company like that. They're very eco-friendly. And I believe it's on a level of natural products. So they're not toxic. So it's good for the environment too. It's not going into our water system, because here on Long Island, we sit on our aquifer. So any water that goes on us and any chemical that goes on us, which we shouldn't be putting on our bodies. Don't even get me started here in Kiora on that. But that goes into our aquifer, because that's where our water goes. Our water goes into our groundwater, which then seeps down into our aquifer. And then we wonder why our rate of cancer is so high here on Long Island. I know the answer. So this is great company. I'm loving the fact that they're supporting you, and I love that you have the monthly events where you actually go out and you open it up and let the community. I'm assuming you let the community know you're in the area, and they come probably know when they see you set up that you're there and you're able to serve the families. Do you get lists, or how do families know? How do families get supported by you?
So we work with Department of Social Service, so we go through them a lot of times. We give our flyers over to them. We work with the local nonprofits, so we get the word out to them. They could always join our like newsletter kind of thing. They could always sign up to be a part of that. Going on the website is always extremely helpful, because I always make sure that that's updated with any of the new places, new events that we're doing. So I always keep that up and running and going. So there's a bunch of different ways to make sure that people know where we are, what we're doing. And especially for this holiday blessings tour, we're looking to go out and just let everyone know as much as we can, going and trying to get on News 12 and everybody else, just so that everybody knows we're out here. And it's to really put a spotlight not only on helping the families, but we're also doing a resource fair along with it. So we're inviting other nonprofits out to be able to spotlight what they do on a year-long basis, right? So stuff that you may have always known about, where you know your local library, for example, you know it's there. Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. Did you realize that you could get museum tickets for free? That they have half off admission for, amusement parks and things like that. I didn't. And I go to my library fairly frequently with my
I
son.
actually did. A friend of mine told me about that, and I'm like, stop it, you can. It's really cool.
Mhm,
It's really cool.
And
You can also borrow equipment from them. They have a whole
Mhm.
division where if you want to play with a Cricut or use a piece of equipment or get I'm going to be really old now, a typewriter or something like that, or you can actually, they lend it. You get to borrow these things. So go to your local library. It's way more than books these days, way more than books.
Exactly.
But
So
we're going to take a little bit of a break, but tell everybody what your website is again so that they can start researching and following you.
Sure. So it's godsblessingsplan.org. So an S after God, an S after blessing, plan.org.
Perfect. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with Kiora and we're going to continue our conversation and find out all the other yumminess that she does. Just so amazing. We'll be right back. Back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Coach Lorianne. If you'd like to be a guest or lift up your business, product, or not-for-profit, or if you have a question or comment, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. That's healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. Love to help you out. If you have any kind of question, just give us a call or give us an email at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. We are so happy to get back to you. So in the meantime, I want to get back to Kiora and this beautiful thing she does at godsblessingsplan.org. Such beautiful things. You have all these events going on. You're giving out useful products to people who really, really need it. What areas do you serve on Long Island? And thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you. So we pretty much serve all of Suffolk County. And we're based in Brentwood. So it's obviously easier for us to be able to get into areas that are closer to Brentwood, but we will serve all of Suffolk County. We also go into Nassau County. And specifically for example, the Holiday Blessings Tour will be in Brentwood. We will be at Upper Room Church, right on Deer Park Avenue, Walt Whitman High School, and the M&T Bank in Riverhead, their Riverhead branch on Old Country Road.
Nice. And they can find the locations and dates and times right on your website.
Absolutely. So it is every Saturday in the month of December from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So each one of the events start at 2 and they theoretically end at 2, but considering there is a huge need on Long Island, it essentially ends up being like a first come, first serve. So once you come and we will give until it's gone. So I have no intentions on bringing anything back because there are more than enough people on the island that need help. So I don't see any reason why anything would come back.
It is amazing to me that, in a area that is Long Island, which is considered a very wealthy area of the United States, that we have so many people in need, and across the country we have so many people right here in America who needs assistance and help. And it's great people like you who help us get that services, get them products, get them what they need so that they don't have to suffer. No one should ever feel embarrassed. We've all been there at some level or another. And we all lift ourselves up, but we do that together as a community. And that's what our higher source, God, universe wants us to do. That's what we're here to do, is to help one another. Where can people sign up to receive items at the Holiday Blessings Tour?
So the tour is on Eventbrite. Again, you could also go to our website and it'll bring you to the collection. We have it in both English and in Spanish. So
your website is once again?
godsblessingsplan.org, and that's after
Perfect.
God and S after blessing, plan.org. So you could always come, please, and check out the website. There's a plethora of information there. So you can sign up to receive items there. And you can also sign up to be a sponsor there to reach
Oh, I
out.
want to talk about that. Back up, back up, back up, back up. So, I know you need sponsors. You always want and need volunteers. So let's back up. Who can be a sponsor? How can they be a sponsor? What is it that you're looking for? I would love all that yumminess. And then also, some people don't have the means to write a check or be a sponsor, but maybe they want to volunteer their time. How do we do this? So let's start with sponsorship.
So sponsorship, anyone can sponsor. So we've got a link where if someone wanted to give $5, you're more than welcome to do that. That is also helpful. Again, that's on our website, godsblessingsplan.org. And you can go on there and click on donate for the Holiday Blessings Tour. Corporations, again, we would love that. You can reach out to me specifically, which is Kiora, which is Kiora Johnson, so JOHNSON at godsblessingsplan.org. And you can definitely reach out to me, and we can go over some sponsorship packages where we can make sure that you get recognized for the amazing and generous work that you do and support that you have for the community. We always want to do that.
Yeah, and all that information, the links, the website, the contact, the email, that's all comes with this program, so this recording. So please, feel free to just click on the links and just zoom over there if you have that ability. Obviously, if you're listening on the radio, there's nothing to click on. But if you follow us, you will be able to find that, on all the social media. We always put it with this particular episode. So that's beautiful. Now that's somebody who wants to donate, or companies who want to give products, and you work with them. What about volunteers? What kind of volunteers you're looking for? What kind of commitment do you expect from them?
So volunteers, we love volunteers, because it, first and foremost, it just lets us know the heart that you have to want to help and to be able to get in and roll your sleeves up and say, all right, this is I want to help my community in whatever way I can. So first and foremost, if you're even thinking about volunteering, I'm going to say thank you just for the thought, right? If you want to take it the next step further and to be able to volunteer with us, again, you can go onto our website and sign up to volunteer. And time commitment, if you wanted to do for the actual day of the event, it could be from 10 to 2. Again, it might be a little bit less time than that, depending on how long it takes for the items to be completely given out. But if you wanted to come just for 10 to 2 to be able to give the items out and to be able to serve the people, again, we like to do the going above and beyond. So putting the stuff in the bags for them and, really just helping them out, helping them pick sizes and that kind of thing. If you wanted to do a little more heavy work, you could help us unload the trucks, which is definitely helpful because there's a lot of stuff to come out. So you can help unload the trucks. Or the day before the events, we're loading the trucks from our warehouse and getting everything onto the 26-foot trucks, which again, I'm going to give a shout out to U-Haul because they are helping to sponsor us with the trucks. So I'm giving a big shout out to them. So honestly, whatever time you can spare, we would 100% amazingly appreciate it. And it would be more than helpful.
Beautiful, beautiful. So that brings me to an obvious segue of, all right, what resources do you need to support the tour, and well, we know how people contact you, but what resource? Give items that you're looking for specifically.
So some of the items that we need are toiletries. That's probably one of the biggest things. I normally like to give full-size toiletries, and I'm going to say specifically for this, bar soap and deodorant. Those are the two things that I'm a little low on. So I've got the toothpaste and the toothbrushes, and amazingly, I've got lotion, which is normally a thing that I need, but I actually have lotion this time. So those two items are obviously very much needed. Um, the Like I said, the volunteers are a big thing for us because we are doing such a large event. We need a lot of volunteers, and it's over every Saturday. So even if I've got enough volunteers for one location, it makes it a little more difficult to get them for each. So I am in no shortage of or I'm in no surplus actually of volunteers. So please feel free.
And what other kind of items can be donated? Because if we have companies listening right now, they may be making that, so maybe they can become one of your sponsors.
Yes. So honestly, we are trying to give a full gamut of everything to the family. So anything from diapers and wipes to coats to like I said, the toiletry items. Uh, Honestly, if it's anything that they cannot purchase with SNAP, like we had a someone that actually
Some
came to
people
us
don't know what SNAP is, so why don't you let everyone know what SNAP is?
right. So SNAP is the food program that you get through the county. So essentially that's food stamps, right? So when you have food stamps, you can get your regular food. You could get your pastas, you could get your drinks and stuff like that. Based on your household size, they give you a certain dollar amount per month that you can use to purchase food. Unfortunately, there are no programs that the county has that allows you to purchase toiletries or to purchase anything outside of food unless you are on actual social service cash assistance, which is also extremely difficult to get on. And it does not give a lot of money at all. And in order for you to even get cash assistance, you need to have absolutely nothing. So they don't even want you to have a car. Kind of like if you have a car, they want you to sell the car so that you could actually get like $400 a month in cash assistance. So it's not a lot of money to be able to have. So even if you do get cash assistance, you're normally living in a shelter and you still don't have much. You're not working with a lot on that in this,
Which is always amazing to me because we don't have here, we don't have a lot of transportation options. You know, it's not like New York City where they could jump on a subway. So selling their car precludes them from getting a job, which precludes them from jumping it. So it's like it's catch-22 that's just so amazingly nasty that you can't even really help yourself unless you're able to get a job that's walking distance from wherever you're living. So it is so these kind of things are really important. Laundry detergents, clothes softeners, stuff like that, diapers, wipes, bar soap and deodorant you're specifically looking for, but any kind of toiletries would be helpful. I know there are a lot of companies, and I'm shouting out to you right now on Long Island. There are manufacturing companies right on Long Island in the HIA area, the Hauppauge Industrial area, that you guys are making products over there. Maybe you can see in your heart to make a donation to God's Blessings Plans. That would be awesome. Or anybody else. You may know people. If you know people who work in or have companies that do these products, they are really a good contact for Kiora, don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, we are really trying to put a push behind this event. This is the first one, but we plan on having this annually. So it's really something that we want to grow, something we want to cultivate, and we want to make sure that our donors, our supporters, the people that are kind of standing behind us, whether it be financially or through your corporation sending out volunteers or doing in-kind donations, that you're really kind of put front and center because you need to be recognized. Yes. There is so much. I read a statistics. There's 94,000 Suffolk County residents that live below the federal poverty line. That is a lot of people in this one little county. It's half of Long Island, right? That's a lot of people. So for businesses to step up and say, you know what, we work in these areas, we do business in these areas, we care about these people, you need to be able to get that light put on you and say, good for you. And to be able to promote you throughout the year to say, look, you need to be purchasing through these people because these people care about our community, and uplifting our community as a whole.
You mentioned U-Haul. Shout out to them. Earth Breeze, shout out to them. Who else would you like to recognize right now? Because they're making a difference and they're really giving back to our community.
Yep. CVS, Burlington, Bombas. They are all supporters of ours. J. Crew and Eddie Bauer and Saks Off Fifth. They're also working with us through another one of our partners, through One Warm Coat, to be able to get coats out. So they're doing coat drives for us. There are those organizations that we have worked with and continue to work with that are just phenomenal. Feed the Children actually has also been a very big. They're who I got a lot of stuff through, where they've just been amazing, in helping us get these items and get stuff out. Avon, so they're amazing, amazing, amazing people, and I really am thankful for their support of what we're doing, and I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Yeah, these are the kind of companies we want to support. These are the kind of companies that, we should use, because there's a power of the purchase that every person has, who's able to make money and fortunate enough to have a job. The power of the purchase, you need to really think about who you're spending your money with, because then they take those monies and how are they spending it? And I don't mean putting our hands in their pockets, because every business is entitled to make money, no doubt. That's no question. That's the American way. That's what makes us so great in the United States, right? But if you know that these companies are giving back and supporting our local communities, we need to support them so they can, one, continue to do what they're doing, but also they are seeing through our purchasing choices that we are, cheering them on to continue to do what they do. And I think it's really important. I really don't believe, I don't know how you feel about this, Kiora. I really don't believe people understand the strength of the power of our purchase. We have two things that we have absolute control over, which is our voting. I don't even want to go there. And we have the other opportunity of who we spend our money with, what stores we shop in, what stores we don't shop in. It sends strong messages. And I'm sure you've seen in the news over the last few months that we can create a wave. And these stores, these companies are really contributing back to us and helping out God's blessings plan. And I'm really big, super, super, super fan of all of that. Earth Breeze, U-Haul, CVS, Burlington, Bombas, Feed the Children, Avon, J. Crew, Eddie Bauer, Saks Off Fifth. And I'm sure you have the prolific list of all of your supporters on your website, which is what?
God'sBlessingsPlan.org.
With double S's, because we're absolutely super supportive. So there's your two S's, super supportive.
There you go.
So it's really good. In our last few minutes, I really need to know this, because I adore you. Absolutely. What inspires you?
What inspires me? Two things. First is I think the first part of being inspired is motivation, right? And so what motivates me is God, right? And my love for God and my love for other people because of God. Because sometimes people are annoying, but because that God loves you and you've been annoying, right? You've got to have that patience and understanding with others, right? So that's my first.
Well, we all have good, bad, ugly, right? So we have to try to
exactly.
We all have good, bad, ugly, and we have our good days and we have our bad days. That's okay. We're human. That's why, we're here to learn that. And we're here to learn how to be more in the good than the ugly. So exactly. I get that.
Exactly. It's like, I have to be okay and be able to be patient with someone that's driving me nuts, because it's only fair, because I'm sure I drove somebody else nuts 20 minutes ago. Right?
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
So that's my first part. My second part, and only it's a very, very close second, is my family, right? I have a new, not so new anymore, I guess, but a new baby girl. She's 13 months old, and my son, who's 6, and I've already said my amazing husband, who's amazing on so many different levels. And they inspire me in ways that I I could have never imagined. You know, my son is so smart, and he will say things, and I'm like, I don't know where he got this, because I'm not that smart, you know. So he had to have got it from God, because I'm not that
Yeah.
smart. But he'll say things, and you know, in those moments when you're struggling as a business owner, as a nonprofit leader, and you're trying to do your own thing, and you need reminding that, you know, it's going to be okay. And my son will just come up and be like, "Mommy, you know, you're doing a great job with the God's blessings." You know, and I'm just like, you
Yeah.
know, something, Munchy Bear, I needed that today, you know. Or you know, or you'll go through something, or you'll be laughing with your children, and my daughter will just, she'll laugh, and she'll just put her head on my shoulder, and it's, you know, or do raspberries, right? So it's those little things, those moments where I had prayed to God for the things that I have right now, right?
Yeah.
And I have to sit back and say, as as much, you know, but we all have our different challenges, right? As many challenges I may come against, as many amazing things I may come through, this is literally an answer to prayer that I had. Like, you step back and say, well, I wanted to be able to do this, and I wanted to be able to do that, and make this impact. So that's my inspiration, you know,
Yeah.
through them. And you know, and I'll add into that, which is part of another thing which we could talk about later. But my three times great grandfather, we have a scholarship for him for Juneteenth, Merritt Johnson Juneteenth scholarship. And he was in the Civil War. He actually fought in the Civil War, and he was at the Battle of Appomattox when the North won the war. And then he came up to Huntington. But like, looking at his whole story, and he was born free, and then he was in the Civil War, and then he helped win the Civil War, right? Things like that inspire me to say, okay, I can still keep going forward, because look at what my grandfather did. You
Yeah.
know, he did something amazing. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's all wrapped
It's
up in
all in,
family.
wrapped up in gratitude. And I just want to point out to you in our last few seconds is that what you're doing, you're such a role model for your children. What you do shows them what compassion is about, shows them what giving back and supporting our community is about. What you do is what you say, your actions and words are speaking truth, and you do represent God, universe, source, however you refer to your higher power. You really give truth to that. And I'm so proud of you. I'm proud to call you friend. Thank you for being on. I so appreciate you. For getting any information or contacts, just, look us up. All the information is here on this radio show. Also, when it goes out to iHeartRadio. So, thank you for everything you do. So appreciate you, Kiora.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate, just everything. It's amazing. It's a labor of love, and I really appreciate, all of it.
Thank you again. And thank you all for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I hope we have earned the privilege of your time. Look for our show next Saturday at 3 p.m. We can be found on all major platforms. So we would be so grateful if you please follow, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I am Coach Lorianne Casdia. Play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.